To our second part on ancient and classical religions, we will now look at religion in ancient Rome. Similar to religion in ancient Greece, we'll look at this religion in ancient Rome in three parts. First is the historical development, second is the essential doctrines and religious practices, and finally, the legacy of ancient Roman religion in the modern world. The first thing about ancient Roman religion is the historical development of ancient Roman religion. The first thing that we know is from the geographical background. Let's look at Italy at this part. Rome is here. Okay, so from Greece, you will have Rome. And the historical development of Roman religion is that it will be influenced by ancient Greek religion. The historical and the legendary foundation of Rome is credited to two brothers, Romulus and Remus, who were the sons of the god of Mars. They were supposed to have been thrown down the river Tiber, and they were rescued by the she-wolf, and this were the legendary foundation of Rome. But what we can tell more about the Roman history is that Rome will be influenced by Greece. The legacy of Rome is the continuation of Greek religion. Much of the old Greek religion will be used in Rome with some change of names. Rome will also include elements of Egyptian and neighboring kingdoms such as the Etruscans. Eventually, Rome will be the biggest empire of the ancient world, encompassing much of Europe, including Britain, until the Hadrian Wall. So, for much of ancient and classical Europe, the Roman Empire will be a uniting force for the region. This also means that ancient Roman religion has a wider influence in the whole of Europe. Now, let's go to the essential doctrines and the religious practice of the Roman religions. The Roman gods and goddesses are almost similar to the Greek gods and goddesses. There is a belief of polytheism, which is many gods, many deities, many goddesses. And just like the Greek gods and goddesses, these Roman deities mirror man in life. So if the gods and goddesses were exactly like humans, is they lived, they have failings in life, they fought, they love, and they will have similar feelings like men on earth. Okay, and Roman religion is a very personal religion. Each person, each temple, each city will have their own particularly favored god. As you can see in this picture, the Roman gods are like humans. They feast, they sleep, and they also engage in bawdy drunkenness with each other. Just like the Greek religion, the Roman gods and goddesses are almost similar, is that they will repeat the same 12 Olympian gods, but their names will change. For example, Zeus from the Greek, the universal fatherly figure god will be Jupiter, and the patron of the arts, Athena, will become Minerva. So basically, a lot of the Greek gods will be retained, but their names will change. Each temple, each Roman town will have its own temple, and each town will have its own deity. Priests and priestesses will be in charge of their religion, of the city, and there is also a tendency to have Vestal Virgins as priestess. Similarly to the Greek religion, the Roman religions will have its own pantheon. If the Parthenon is the most important Greek temple, then the pantheon is the most important temple for the Roman religion. Worship and sacrifice. Just like the Greek religions, the Romans feared their gods and sought for favors from them. So to make an offering is to ask for a favor. Offering can be in the forms of coins, silver statues, incense, food, etc. So basically, when you have something to ask, you make an offering. Next, the funeral practices of the Roman religions. We see that burial is not something very particularly preferred in Roman times, but cremation was the preferred choice. Burial only became popular after the 1st and 2nd century AD. This could be an influence of the rise of Christianity in this particular period. Now, one thing that is something very outstanding about the Roman religion is that there is a very wicked, gory element of this religion. Okay, in Rome, you will never find any other civilization except in South America where death becomes a spectacle of violence or becomes a theatrical aspect of religion. In Rome, gladiators will pray to Pluto, the god of death, or Mars, or the god of war, to pray for wisdom and to win battles in war. That becomes a very spectator sport, in the sense that not just for spectator sports, but for a religious sense of offering, a religious aspect of these spectator sports. For example, in this picture, you can see that the early Christians were used to feed the lions. Okay, never again in history where you will see that being glorified. The only other civilization where that is glorified will be in the Mesoamerican or the South American civilization. In Rome, towards the end of Rome, you will see other religions coming into place. Two of these religions will be, for example, Mithraism, the worship of Mithras, or is a very Indo-Aryan religion, Indo-Persian religion. This is a very secretive cult, largely hidden from the public. Okay, this religion has a very unique religion in the sense that it is the first idea of reincarnation in a Western European setting. The other religion is Christianity. Christianity, as we can see in the first picture over here, is that the early Christians were hated in the Roman Empire. Only much later, in the 300s or 400s AD, where Christianity will be adopted by the Roman Empire. The conversion to Christianity will also mark the end of Roman religions and the end of classical Rome. Now, let's go to the legacy of ancient Rome. Just like Greece, Rome and Greece are not ancient Roman and ancient Greek religions are not active religions. They only live in the history books of Western civilization. We only know about these religions through either archaeology, literature, or through drama and through Hollywood. Some of these religions do not favor well in the Abrahamic religions. For example, in Judeo-Christianity, ancient Greek and ancient Roman religions were not well liked. They may have influenced the Abrahamic religions, but they may not be well liked. The second part of ancient Rome religion is the spread of Christianity. Early Christians were persecuted in Rome, but it is also in Rome that Christianity first gained favor. Okay, Emperor Nero tried to blame the Christians. This is the most important part of anti-Christianity in early Rome, where you can see in AD 64, when Rome burned, it was Emperor Nero who tried to blame the Christians for the great fire of Rome. But at the same time, in Rome, you also have Emperor Constantine, who will have made Christianity the state religion, which will forever be linked to Western European civilization. Now, one thing about ancient Roman religion is that there is also an other element of no religion. In ancient Rome, besides having religious ideas, Rome also was the first time that man believed in the ideas of atheism or no such thing of God. Okay, for example, Consul Cicero will question the belief in omens, to question the belief in superstitions. Okay, one of these reason for atheism is that during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, many have sought to help us. Many of them have sought to get the help of gods, but the gods were not able to help. Could this be a possibility that maybe there were no gods? So the idea of atheism is also a very important legacy of the ancient Roman religion. On Thursday, we'll look at ancient Egypt and Zoroastrianism. Thank you for today.